I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.
I've just bought this. It's my, well, new to me, 1974 MasterCraft competition ski boat. I'm so excited about owning this. It is very cool. It's got an old American muscle engine in it. It's an old Ford Windsor. It is seized at the moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to film a little refit video where we're going to see if we can free up the engine and get it spinning, and I'm really excited. I have no engine experience whatsoever. I did rebuild an old sailboat like 5 years ago, but that came with a new engine, so I've never had to work on the engine before. But because of that, I'm not worried about the cosmetics. That will all be all right. I've got a bit of experience with that. So what we want to do is just get the engine turning, and that is what we're going to focus on today. So, from what I read online, get that out of the way, this is how you drain the oil, okay? It's got this screw on the end here, and you basically unscrew this, and it drains the oil. But the problem is I can't get a bucket under there, because that would mean I'd have to get the pipe up, and then the oil won't drain upwards, right? Obviously, because gravity. So, what I'm thinking at the moment is I'm just going to drain the oil into the bilge and deal with that problem later. Right, small interruption. What I didn't know when I was draining the oil out of the engine, because there was so much dirt and debris in the bilge, is that there's actually a hole beneath the engine for draining the oil. So if I flip the camera and you just have a look over there, you can see that there's a hole. I only discovered that because I drained all the oil into the engine and then had to clean it up, and whilst I was cleaning it up, I found the hole. So that was really dumb, and I could have googled that and saved myself a bit of cleaning. Also, it's a very slow draining process apparently. It's much quicker to pump it out from where the dipstick goes in, but I bought one of those manual pumps. I can't seem to get it working, so I'm gonna take this off and we will see if that slowly trickles oil out. Alright, over here you can see again how much oil is coming out of the engine. I'm glad it's out of the engine. I'm really annoyed at myself for putting it straight in the bilge. That is the lesson learned. What I'm going to do now is get these hoses off because they're going to need replacing. So get them off and then we can put new ones on. Unfortunately I can't get them off, so I'm going to have to cut them off, which is fine because basically yeah, just absolutely stuck on there.
How would you describe that?
I need to get the valve covers off, and in order to do that I need to get the exhaust manifolds off. So there is a couple of bolts down here. I'm not sure if you can see them. I'm going to undo those, get the exhaust manifolds out the way. I got 3 bolts out of that one, and I got all 4 bolts out of this one. Definitely broke a couple of tools in the process. Those will need replacing. My word, that is heavy. I think that's like cast iron, and it is insanely heavy. What I need to do now is detach that hose clamp, get that hose off, get this thing in the car. We're going to take that home, clean that up on the workbench. But now that's off, we can take the valve covers off, and we can actually have a look at the valves. And fingers crossed they're as good as I think they are, but honestly, I don't know at this point. It's a demolition job right now. I obviously tried to turn this engine over when I bought the boat, just to make sure that it actually was seized, right? And it didn't turn at all. It was so seized up that all I ended up doing was loosening the crankshaft bolt. But I've just had a look at all 8 cylinders, and 6 out of 8 are like, they look good, better than I expected. I mean, given the overall condition of the engine and the rust everywhere. 2 cylinders weren't great. One was particularly bogged up. The other one was all right, just sort of not great, but like fine, I think. I've left them sitting in coil for a really long time. I'm just going to try turn it over one more time. I don't think it's going to work. My hopes are really low, unfortunately, but I just figured give it another go before I take the heads off, because I don't see a reason why it shouldn't turn, unless it was in gear when I was trying to turn it, but you know, I don't see a reason why it shouldn't turn. So let's give that a go. That just turned. Right, I've got excited once before thinking it's turned, but I'm pretty sure that's just turned. I think if I take off the valve covers, I should be able to see the valves moving. That's insane. Let's get those off and have a look. I'd be really lucky if that's just turned. If I've just loosened the bolt, of course, then this is like false hope and that would suck. I've had that once before, so I'm hesitant, but let's have a look. Let's set the camera up so you can see the valves. I'll try and turn the engine again and let's see if it actually turns. Right, no, false hope, that did not work. I was just tightening the bolt. I had a look at the valves, they didn't move at all. I put the camera by the flywheel, that is not spinning. I can't spin the flywheel, but that's also because I can't get any leverage on it, because there's no inspection hatch and there's nothing to sort of like lever a screwdriver against or a pry bar against. So that's a dead end. I do have a crankshaft tool coming, so I can bolt that to the actual crankshaft, put a steel pipe over my breaker bar, because the breaker bar is like way too short, I think. So I can put a steel pipe over the breaker bar and I can just get a bit more leverage, try turn it like that. If that doesn't work, then I think I've got to take the heads off and try clean the cylinders and the tops of the pistons. On the odd chance that anyone actually watches this and anyone has any suggestions, please let me know, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I would like to take as little off the engine as possible, because you know the risk is you don't know how to put it back on. So yeah, any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, I think the game plan for this weekend is get the crankshaft turning tool on the crankshaft, put an extension on the breaker bar, see if we can spin it like that. And if we can't, well then, I guess what we're going to do is take this off, take that off, we'll take this whole block off here. I actually don't know what all the separate parts are called. That shows my lack of engine knowledge. But basically, we'll take the bulk of the top end of the engine off. And I saw a suggestion where you can basically like hit the top of the pistons with a steel pipe and the shock should break it free, but that sounds a bit dodge. So, you know, maybe we end up trying that, who knows, if we get desperate. But what we'll definitely do is clean the cylinder walls, because that can only help, right? So we'll clean those, but hopefully we don't have to take that off. Hopefully we can just turn it with a longer breaker bar, and instead of using the crankshaft bolt, because that is just loosening and tightening. The next video, what we're going to do is we're going to try to turn the boat with the crankshaft turning tool. If that doesn't work, then we're in for a good one, because I'm going to be basically taking the top end of the engine off, having never ever done anything like that before. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Wear a tall hat, like the druid in the old days. Wear a tall hat and a tattooed guy.